In this video, I'm going to teach you how to become that social, charismatic guy with that magnetizing personality that you've always wanted to be. Now, if you guys want to learn how to be that guy, just sub to my OF real quick. It's the first link in the... No, I'm fucking. I'm fucking with you, don't worry, I do not have an OF. But if you want to learn how to become that social, charismatic guy, keep watching the rest of this video.
Babe, wake up. Lanny dropped another one.
So just before I start this video, I want to quickly mention that I have something big coming up. I am starting my first ever coaching program, and if you want to be amongst the first to access it, the spots are going to be very, very limited. So click the first link in the description right now to join the waitlist. Now, getting on with the video, you need to demand respect from your peers. Have an asset or multiple assets that are worth respecting. Now, what do I mean by assets? I don't mean like watches, cars, houses. I don't mean financial assets. What I mean is things to your personality, hobbies, skills that are respectable. I would respect a guy that knows how to fight. I would respect a guy that goes to the gym. I respect a guy that knows that reads, not knows how to read. Most guys know how to read, but, or I at least hope so. But I respect guys that read. I respect guys that have a craft. I respect guys that know how to program. So do you have a craft? Do you have a skill? Do you have anything that you work on, that you enjoy doing, that you're maybe actually really good at? Maybe you're one of the best at it. That is your craft. That is your asset that another guy will respect. Now, I'm not saying you need to flaunt it and be cocky with it and like act like a know-it-all with it, but rather make it prevalent as a piece in your personality. Make it known that you do it, but don't be cocky with it. If you're that gym guy, then have the personality of a gym guy, right? Dress to show your physique. And it's just things like that. And having that in your corner makes you respected. There are guys that I've known that play instruments, and I'm like, shit, that's pretty cool, bro. And I respect them for it. And there's guys that have seen me with my physique, and they've seen it through like the clothes that I wear, because maybe I wear like muscle fit shirts. They're like, bro, you have an insane physique. And they get, like dap me up, give me a fist bump for it, whatever. And they're like, yeah, shit, respect, man. And stuff like that, getting respect from your peers, puts you in such a good position socially, because immediately you've got a guy that respects you. He wants to be your friend if he respects you. He wants to maybe even learn that craft from you. I've had so many guys come up to me and be like, bro, how did you build that physique? Teach me how you did it. I've coached or trained a lot of guys in the gym to build very similar physiques to mine, or maybe even better ones than mine, just because of the fact that they respect me as soon as they see my physique. So you want to become the guy that people go to for that respect they have for you in that craft, and they want to know you because of the respect they have for you in that craft. The next point that goes alongside this is holding yourself to a high standard, right? So I want you to have respect for yourself. Hold yourself to a high enough standard. Have goals and stuff that you want to achieve. Don't think of yourself as down here. Because if you think of yourself as down here, that's where everyone else is going to think of you as. Hold yourself up here, and you will become the person that is up here, right? As soon as I started doing this and holding myself up here, I set boundaries so much easier. I wasn't afraid of conflict. I wasn't afraid to say something when someone did something I didn't like, etc., etc. And all of that made me so much more respectable. A lot of these things just come down to how much are you respected. Because being that social, Chad, confident, magnetizing personality sort of guy is all about respect. These days it's a whole game of respect. So how much respect can you earn? Do you respect yourself enough to hold yourself to a high enough standard? And the next point that I have for you is never be afraid to speak up if you don't like something. So I've already said this, but just to re-embellish it, if you see something going on that you don't like, or if you don't agree with something, don't be the guy that's just going to stand there and watch and comment on it to people around him, but not actually do anything, not actually make an effort to stop what's going on. Make an effort to talk to the person that is making the comments that you don't like, or is doing the thing that you don't like. Be the guy that will actually stand up. Be the guy that's not afraid of conflict, not scared of commotion, not scared of disagreement, and will go ahead and be like, hey, I don't like what you did there. Hey, I don't appreciate the way you just spoke to me. I actually did this with my managers at my previous job. They weren't saying my name right, even though they'd known how to pronounce my name correctly. I stood up and I said, that's not my name. Say my name correctly. And these are my managers, meant to be my superiors. The way it works with me is I won't give you respect unless you give me respect, even if you are my elder or whatever. And especially if you're taking the piss out of me like that, you already know how to say my name. And they laughed at me after I said that, but I couldn't care less. I would have done more if they weren't my managers after they laughed at me. I would have said more, but I kind of needed the job at the time. But I still, again, in the first place, I wasn't afraid to say something because they decided to mock me and make a joke out of my name. And I said, no, that's not my name. Say my name correctly. This is how you say my name. Don't obviously be a complete dickhead about it. Don't be aggressive unless they start getting aggressive with you. Be polite and respectful still, but say something if you need to. Don't be afraid, and don't be the guy that just stands there making comments. Then you're just a pussy. And the next point that I have for you is maintain boundaries with your relationships or within your relationships. The best friendship that I've ever had, and basically one of the most longest lasting friendships that I've ever had, has been with this guy who I wasn't afraid to set boundaries with, and he wasn't afraid to set boundaries with me as soon as we became friends. And because of that, he's become my best friend. And we've had the best friendship that I've ever had. And it clicked much after, but I don't know why it didn't click for me earlier, in like earlier friendships and stuff. I would always be that pussy sort of guy that would just stand by as things happened that went against my boundaries or went against my standards, and I'll just accept it. If you have a boundary, set it clearly and say, hey, I don't like that you did this. Hey, keep this like this in my room for a certain reason. Hey, don't bring people into my room without telling me. Something like that. All of these sorts of things are so important for relationships, and they help you build healthy relationships. If you don't have healthy boundaries set, sure as hell all this toxicity and all this negativity is going to be built up inside of you to almost have a hatred towards them. You actually don't like your friends, and they've actually basically been bullying you this entire time because you've never set your boundaries. And that's what happens when you don't set your boundaries. And that's exactly what used to happen to me. I used to hate my social circles. I used to feel scared in them because I never set boundaries clearly. The next point that I have for you is I want you to lead with intention. You want to become the leader of the group, right? You want to be respected by your peers, but don't be like a waving stick in the wind. Be a firm tree planted with intention. Know what you're doing. Know where you're going. Know what you're saying, right? Have an intention with what you do. Manage things effectively. I don't want you to be that guy that's just like, oh, maybe we'll do this. I don't know. You sound like you don't know what you're doing, because you don't. Rather, if you lead with intention, like, okay, we're going to go to the gym this time, we're going to do this at this is what we're going to hit, right? That's the guy that knows what he's doing, and that's the guy that I can respect. This one's a little bit of like a loosey-goosey point, but it's still very important in order to become that social Chad sort of guy. The next point that I have for you is ask favours of the people around you. Now, I don't know why this works, and I don't actually know the specific science behind it, but I'm going to make an effort to try and explain it if I was to guess. I feel like everyone in them has this urge to serve. Like, humans were made to serve, which is why we believe in religion and philosophy and all this sort of stuff, which is a whole other philosophical concept. But because humans have this desire within them to serve, when you ask someone a favor, they're a lot more likely to do it than not to. And when they do it for you, for some reason, they'll always be likened towards you more. They'll always look at you in more of a positive light. And I don't know why. Maybe, like I said, it's because we have this need within us to serve, to be subservient. But as soon as you ask people to do favors, oh, could you just grab that for me? Could you just sort this out for me? Do you mind just running this quick errand for me? People will, first of all, naturally fall into that position of, like, okay, I look up to this guy, I respect this guy, I see this guy as a leader, and they put you in that leader position. But on top of that, they will respect you more because they think of you, I don't know, maybe they think of you as like as a busy guy that doesn't have time to do stuff, and oh, he trusts me to do this task for him, so I respect him. I don't know how it specifically works, but maybe it could be any one of these things, but it just works, and it works so well. I used to do this with all of my friends, with even my previous girlfriends, and it worked so well. I don't know how to explain it to you, but just try it out for yourself. The next and final point that I have for you is be authentic. Be yourself 100%. Don't try and meld yourself to your group. Don't try and bend yourself towards your group. If you have certain things that you enjoy doing, that are set for you, that you like a certain way, be clear with it and be authentic and say, hey, I like it this way. You're going to meet people in your life that will disrespect you for going to the gym. But you be authentic and say, no, I like going to the gym. I like going to the gym, training to get an aesthetic body. I go to the gym to build an aesthetic body because I think it might get me the type of girls that I want. And there's nothing wrong with saying that, and there's nothing wrong with having your opinion on that. I need you to be authentic with your opinions. Be authentic with yourself. As soon as you're authentic with yourself, you respect yourself, and others will respect you for your opinions. Don't be afraid to be controversial. Don't be afraid to cause conflict. Don't be scared to cause commotion or any sort of disagreement. Stand on business for yourself and be authentic and say, hey, I'm like this for this reason. I like this. I like that. I like this a certain way. I don't like this. And just be yourself. Don't try and meld to fit the group. Just don't try and fit in when you were born to stand out. Anyways, before I end off, I just want to quickly re-mention that if you guys want to join the waitlist and get early access for my coaching program, click the first link in the description. Anyways, I'll catch you guys in the next one.